What is happening, y'all? Let's get this going. Back with more notes. Oh, man. I had, like, the laziest start. Hang on. I really need to stop with the late nights. It was another, stay up and fall asleep at, like, 2:30 in the morning. Playing stories. And then, wake up at 8, and my body was like, no, we're not getting up. Stay in that bed. And I didn't want to get out of bed until, like, 11. I need like one night. I just need to not stay up. I need to say no. I'm going to bed. Excited for Crimson Desert. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to go hands-on with it and get a better opinion of what the hell's going on. Is the game this game is very good. I haven't eaten today, so we're gonna have a slow start, and I'm gonna eat my yogurt fast, because I need food. I'm like fucking shaking because my body's not eating. Yeah, I need to have something on my stomach. Just got the platinum last night. Going to New Game Plus. It is a fun journey. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Like, being done with the walkthrough prep. Just so I can, you know, I can just play New Game Plus. Just focus it. Gion is 119. You're 120. 123. 120. So I think what we'll do is I'll boop. Now let me look at the screenshot for Nijou Castle. Nijou Castle. Alright, so we'll dip into Nijou Castle to get a thing. And then I'll clear Sanjo, we'll go down and we'll clear Shijo. And then probably Gion and Kion. And then we can do Shirakawa, hop over Nijou Castle and Mibu, and then come back and hit Kyoto. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I like that plan a lot. Never played a Nioh game yet. I'm thinking about getting this one. I think this is the best it's been. It's definitely, like, in terms of just play, it's the most approachable by far, because the open world, you know, like, thinking about, like, Dark Souls versus Elden Ring, how, like, in Dark Souls, you know, there are groups of enemies that will ambush you, and if you know what you're doing, you can, like, kind of just haul ass and get past them. But otherwise, like, you know, you're gonna get hit with that ambush, and here, the Elden Ring approach, where, like a perfect example, literally, right, where is it at? I think it's right here. This is, like, assuming these things... No, wait, is this an enemy base? Let me see. Where's the enemy base at? That one? This one, right here. So, it's already been cleared. But we can go over there just to show it. This is one of the things that I think makes this, like, just a much easier experience. But so, like, the first time you roll up on this area, you got, like, 3 yokai that are sitting here, and they're getting ready to fight. And so, if you come down here, they'll aggro. While they aggro you, there's a guy up here that's going to shoot you with a cannon. There's 2 guys out of fire that are going to aggro. And you're going to fight all that shit, and you're under cannon fire. And so if you go that way, you'll probably get fucked up, right? But instead, you could be like, oh, what's this? come this way, go up on the roof. You get over here. You can snipe one of the gunners who's right here. You can snipe the guy on the cannon. You can go over here, kill these two before they even realize that you've shown up. And then you can climb up and shoot the cannon to kill the yokai. And so, like, it's an entire encounter that you just said, nah, we're not playing by your rules. We're playing by my rules. I think that's really fucking cool. Warp back to Shichijo and pick up all the quests. Any chance of playing Monster Hunter World? Probably not anytime soon. I mean, the next Monster Hunter I'll probably be doing is check out the update for Wilds, and then kind of just waiting for the Wilds expansion, because there's so much stuff going on. Almost Grover's English actor has a weird accent. I heard all the English voices are kind of iffy. I mean, I've always played Nioh in Japanese. It's just my thing is, you know, most of the time I feel like when there's a piece of media being created, whether it's a game or an anime or a show or whatever the case is, I'd imagine that most of the time the like creators of a show and the showrunners and all that, you know, there's like a certain voice I'd imagine they're probably thinking like, this character sounds like this. Like, you know, in their head already, they got a voice like, yeah, this is how I think this character would sound. And, you know, they're probably calling to mind a specific voice actor. And so that's why generally I always like to play something in whatever the original language is. Because, you know, and here's the thing. If the original language is Japanese, yeah, it's obviously going to be full of Japanese voice actors and speaking Japanese, and it is what it is. But like at the same time, that's not always the case. You know, you take a look at Death Stranding. You know, Death Stranding, Norman Reedus is Sam. Like, he's fucking Sam. Kojima casted him as Sam, designed the character of Sam around him. And so I feel like if I was playing Death Stranding in anything that had somebody else voicing Norman Reedus, I feel like that'd be just as fucking weird. So, I always like playing games in whatever the natural language is. I just think it's done better.
心してかからねえと。俺はこいつを葬っていく。現地でお茶を。
I'm looking at both chats. Y'all ain't saying all that much in Twitch. Said hello. What you want me to say? I guess we should knock this out. No, this actually connects through, doesn't it? I think this does connect through. I mean, we could just fucking knock it out. Yeah, we'll just knock it out. All right, so we'll do that. We'll grab all that, run back for Purest Katana, then go to the... Ijo Pitu. Aaron Nakiri's voice actor changing in Food Wars. You wouldn't even notice the difference. You didn't see her voice actor changed. They just mimicked the voice. We're back to Shijiko, pick up all the quests, run back for Fearless Katana, go to the spike we stopped, pop it, and then work. I guess I could kill this goober. She's just right here. Is there anything else here? Let me look. There's a goober, there's a thingy, and then that goes down. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? We'll get the yeah, that will make more sense. Oh, we're gonna then we're gonna get the Crucible. I use Tempest Ninja at 40 skill, 40 magic. Feels like my regular shrapnel does more damage. You need to have like points in elemental. They're elemental spells, so you need to grab all the elemental perks. There's a ton of skills, like ninja specific skills that you need to grab as well. I do not have 100% for the original Nioh. Just before I started stuff. Nioh 1 is a solid game, but it definitely has some quirks here and there. Nioh 2, vast improvement on Nioh 1. Opens up and expands a ton of systems. This evolves from that to add in the open world element, and just in general create a more approachable experience. Like, this is definitely the easiest of the Niohs. Between incoming damage is definitely been reduced a little bit, and Dinjimo being able to just dodge through stuff is really, really good if you're struggling to play samurai and peoples. But I think especially as you progress through the game, later bosses, and then the new game plus cycle, it starts to feel more like that OG Nioh experience. Map for Gion. Gion does have a shrine that's straight ahead. Yeah, semi-open world is accurate. Grab the loots and ahead, and up the just grab a I don't think it'll land game of the year. This will probably be my personal game of the year. I mean, given Crimson Desert does look fucking crazy, so maybe that'll like completely blow me away, but right now at least this is a very strong contender for a game of the year. At the very least, I think this is going to be the game I put the most time into this year. But I had so much fucking fun with this game. And that's a big thing for me. Like, I think, you know, when it comes to the game of the year discussions, there's obviously a lot of factors that people will evaluate GameSpot. How was the voice acting? How was the music? How was the performance? How was the story? And my thing is, like, more than anything, how fun is it? Because a game could be, like, you know, the game can tell a beautiful fucking story, but if I don't have fun playing it, it just negatively influences the game in my eyes. I'm like, I think fun should be at the forefront of every gaming experience. Because at the end of the day, gaming is a hobby. If you're not having fun doing something, then why are you doing it? Remember, Gion Shrine and the one loot on the cliff. Soulframe Polludes 13 is out. I mean, I'm probably gonna wait for them to keep cooking with it. I think Soulframe's got some good things going on. Like, it has good bones for sure. But personally, I tend to go for some more curated gaming experiences. Like, I had enough fun with Soulframe, but like there were times playing it, it almost reminded me a little bit of my like Breath of the Wild experience, where like I would finish, I'd have like a quest, and then I'm like, where do I go? Do I just keep? Do I go this way? Do I work with this faction? Like, I was never, I don't know. I didn't have the guidance that I would have liked. And I think guidance is a tricky thing with games, because, like, you know, you look at something like Elden Ring, and I think a lot of people would say, like, oh, well, Elden Ring doesn't really guide you, but, like, it does. You always have, like, the guidance of grace. So even if it's limited, you're like, oh, okay, I know progress is that way. I know the next major boss is that way. And then so my brain can go, everything else that's not that way, I can explore. And it's probably alternate stuff, and it might be easier or harder, but I know that way is the main story. And I feel like Soulframe, I didn't have that. Soulframe, I was more like, I don't know where the fuck to go. Where does one go? Let me grab, what is this? Shijou, let me go to the Shijou's. Oh, how do I want to do this? I guess we could get, yeah, we'll get up to him. Get up, okay. I don't know, let me see. Grab Gion Shrine and one loot on the cliff, then work backwards, killing everything. Zuki, work back to the shrine. Master of Illusion. It's like it's one of the bosses around here. I don't remember which one exactly, but any thoughts on Borderlands 4 coming from a fanfic for the Borderlands series? Good deep dive out as a Borderlands, but I wanted the perspective of a gamer, not a Borderlands and no lifer. I thought it was pretty chill, but like you said, I'm not somebody that's heavily invested in Borderlands. Overall, I liked it. I had a lot of fun, like playing Amon. I had fun with the playthrough. I thought it was a little on the like easier side, I think, compared to some previous Borderlands. But I would say I enjoyed it. But obviously, this is just the like casual new game opinion. I didn't really, like, I didn't have time to push to like Ultimate Vault Hunter mode or any of that stuff really. A very limited scope of experience. Yeah, I have a lot of buddies that are big in the Borderlands scene, so I always see the tweets coming up about just like people upset that like there hasn't been lots of support or content updates, and it feels like they're just aimless at the moment. Which I get it, I can suck a lot. Three more baddies, where are they at? It's one. Axe, I wouldn't say it's an all-rounder, but the axe is definitely the unga bunga choice of weapons. I just uploaded an axe build if you want to see. It's pretty brain dead. Like, the first fight of the video, literally get beat within an inch of my life, and it's like, it takes way more hits than it would have for any other character to kill. Like, any other build, I would have already died. And the axe build's just like, I don't think I'm dying today. So axe, I would say axe is the most beginner friendly. I went to New Game Plus thinking it would be hard, but I was wrong. How far are you in New Game Plus? New Game Plus was whooping my ass. Not at the start, but like once you start progressing, bro. Like late game New Game Plus, so like a big example, like Final Boss, New Game, I was able to perma-stun and basically just destroy his ass with Chaos. Like, he seemed like he was extra weak to it. That was not the case in New Game Plus. New Game Plus, I had to lock the fuck in to beat that dude. There were a couple bosses, like, Final Boss Act 2 was not fucking around. Final Boss was not fucking around. The enhanced Crucibles, I got worked over by those a couple times. Keep going, you'll hit a challenge point in New Game Plus that you're like, fuck, y'all are too sweaty. We've streamed it a couple times, showing off that experience, but I really I need to like focus on getting notes done today. I always get fucking distracted. I'm like, let me show you my warrior build. Let me show you New Game Plus stuff. I need to just get this shit done. Yeah, gold economy was one of my biggest complaints. I think this might be the Kato set guy, because he's a ninja. Oh.
古臭い忍びと侮るまい。参るぞ。主の南にしては嫌にこしきだな。この老いぼれより古臭いとは面白い。今日で生き残るだけはある。だがここからよ。
Drop Last Ninja. Is that a set? Last Ninja and Fleetfoot. Okay, so he's descendant of Iga set, which is backstab, assassination, ninjutsu, stealth. Not common. Remember, I got stuck here in the Let's Play because I just looked at it and I was like, that roof is too tall to jump. I can't do it. And I spent like 15 minutes trying to cross this gap instead. Very depressing to think about. Can I not do this? Guess not. That bar is keyed. That's the blue bar. The white bar is my health. I'm talking about the thing in the middle of the screen. Alright, so it makes more sense to do this first, since it's going to be one way for now. Let me update the notes. Then go to the spike we skip. Take the spirit vein. Clear the base, get the master, then roots in the... Afterwards, return to shrine. I'm gonna say, get the Crucible Wraith, then grab the loots, and I had sprint up the bridge to grab Gion Shrine and one loot on the cliff. Work backwards, killing everything. And we're progressing until Zuki and kill him. Like that invisible skin is. I like to think I'm going pretty. I mean, I don't know. I'm speeding, but I'm marking the map more this walkthrough. To be fair, I'm spending a lot more time marking up the map, so people aren't like, fuck, he's too fast. What up? Present. Oh. You can't forge divine here. And you're pressing until Mizuki and kill him. Well, I did all the blacksmith quests. Well, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't. I would test it. I'm pretty sure you can't forge divines. I didn't do the... No, I don't know. Part of me is like, yeah, I did them, and the other part is like, no, that was a different playthrough. The fact that I have technically 4 playthroughs going since there's a New Game Plus one. It's all like a blurry cloud at the moment, so I would test it to confirm. I want to say no. Jitsu Link is so good. Any pointers for New Game Plus? Your build, your first build in New Game Plus, your first Grace build, you don't get to decide what your first Grace build is. It's whatever gear drops. In my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a yokai arc spirit build. It's gonna be super cool. And the game was like, no, actually, you're gonna do an Omyo build for ninja. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do an Omyo build for ninja. And then eventually I got all the ninja parts for ninja, and I was able to swap to that. But like, initially, you're going into New Game Plus, and the game's like, here you go. This is what you get. And you're like, I don't want that, though. And it's like, too fucking bad. Keep farming. I'm like, oh, okay. Which I found out the other day. You know that's how a lot of doctors, they end up in their careers? It's wild to me. I was talking to my buddy. He's an oral surgeon, and my friend Michael, his kid's currently in college, and he wants to be an oral surgeon. And so they were talking about the most important things, like, you know, what exams he has to really focus on, and make sure he's, you know, has enough time, spending enough time studying and all that. And there's like, apparently there's an exam that you do very, very early in the process, and depending on how you score in that exam, because I think he said it was called step 1, but like depending on your score in step 1, it's like if you're a 90 or above, you're good. Like below a 90, they're like, okay, these jobs, those are off the table. So that's why some people, they go to school to be a doctor, and they instead end up having to be the colonoscopy dude that's fingering butts for his whole life because they didn't score high enough on step 1. Which is fucking really funny, but also crazy to think about. Because the origin of the discussion was like, man, I wonder how you decide, like, how do you decide that's the job you want to do? Like, is someone in school like, you know what? I think I just want to finger butts my whole life. And he explained, he was like, well, no, usually it's, you know, step 1, and you don't get a certain score. You know, the amount of routes available to you is lessened. And I'm like, oh, damn. Quite literally, you didn't choose the butthole life. The butthole life was chosen for you. Yeah, they sound hellacious. I was like, oh damn. Very different from engineering. Engineering ain't got shit like that. Engineering was basically like, you good at math? Yeah? Okay, cool. That's it. DLC drops, what level will it be? I don't know. Probably around the max recommended level for the stuff. Whatever the max recommended level on it's already a one-way. It is. Son of a bitch. Take a right first for Sudama. Alright, this is Sanjo. I'm Sanjo now. How much math you take? That's what engineering you get to do. Ain't fair. But like I'm saying, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because I went into systems, but the engineering route I went, there was no, like, you know, there wasn't like a specific exam. We didn't have a step 1 or anything like that. Like, you know, I got my degree, I got my MS, I defended my thesis, and that was it. We weren't like, all right, now you gotta pass the ECATs to qualify to be an engineer. Like, that wasn't a thing. Whereas for, I mean, I'm pretty sure for pretty much any type of doctor, you have those specific exams you gotta pass. There's the EIT and PE? What are those for? Fundamentals of Engineering. It's a 6-hour, 110-question computer base administered by NCESS Verified Engineering Knowledge. First step towards becoming a licensed professional engineer. The exam is open. What type of engineering is this for? Because I have a master's in systems engineering, and I've never heard of this in my entire life. Available in 7 disciplines: chemical, civil, electrical, computer, environmental, industrial systems, mechanical, and other disciplines. Do I need a... Alright, so a master's degree in engineering can reduce the required work experience. For a PE license, it does not replace the requirement to pass the FE to become an EIT. What is a... needed for? A professional engineering, so you have to pass that exam to get a professional engineering license that sign and seal engineering plans, reports, and drawings for public and private projects to ensure public safety, essential for consulting, independent services, senior level roles in civil, structural, and environmental engineering. So that shit was not relevant at all to the stuff I did. PE means you will make more money. I don't think it matters for human factors and systems, to be honest. That sounds, from what I'm reading of that sounds a lot more like the type of engineer that's laying out city plans and ensuring that you're not building roads over potholes type shit. The type of engineering I do is give me a problem and I optimize it. Which is probably why I'm good at making walkthroughs. Went to school for 8 years to know how to make a YouTube walkthrough. Yeah. Is for the person in charge of building the big thing, like a building, yeah. So that's just not relevant to me. I'm like, I had never heard of this. Not really surprising. Dude, when someone asked if I use IG, yeah, I was the IG captain. I'm fine with not being the guy whose name is on the paperwork. I don't want to... I've had the opportunity to go up to like a management role a couple of times, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm more than satisfied with just taking my health insurance and not having my name be on. Like, there's a pay grade level where I'm like, you know what? Beyond this, I don't give a fuck. Which is both, like, very cathartic, but also kind of depressing. But, I mean, at this point, like, YouTube has clearly overtaken systems job in terms of professional development and where I see a priority in life. So it's hard to feel too invested about the day job, because I'm like, you know, there was a point where I was like, this is the mission, and now I'm like, this is health insurance. You know, the strawberry is probably the weakest flavor. How can I fix the bug where I get stuck in Eternal Rift? I do not know. I would try and find your little buddy and talk to him. You go right for Sudama, head south for dudes, cross the road and kill Ubame. Head into Crucible. that games still put layoffs these days happening for middle management? Yeah, I don't. Oh, that's what it would have been. Really, is like, oh, do you want to be one of the, you know, one of the team leads? And I'm like, oh, what would I get? And they're like, well, we'll bump you up to a GS14 pay grade, and you'll be in charge of this many people. And I'm like, no, I'd rather just stay part-time and be the person that gets some work done. Low responsibility level, easy lifts. Walk through early game quick session. Should I be using title points? I just use them on whatever you want, honestly. You can change them at any time. I usually I like martial art key damage, and then for ninja I like ninjutsu, and then some force bonus. Tactics, living artifact is good, spirit force is good. I mean, even key recovery speed is good. But like I said, you can just like freely take these points out and put them wherever. So it's really just like, oh yeah, that seems like a good spot. There's no like one thing I would be like, you have to do this, and then the next you have to do this. That's the next important. Like, just whatever you want, really. And I don't even like keep on top of them. I just check it every couple levels and be like, oh, I got some to spend. Now, Spirit Force is, it's for these abilities. That little yellow bar is Spirit Force. Spirit Force gain will impact that. Yeah, I'll be real curious to see what the landscape looks like in 10 years with AI. Because there's a lot of talk about how AI is going to eliminate a large number of jobs. This discussion actually came up the other day, because one of my buddies is like, well, AI is gonna eliminate those jobs, and then it's, people will just be on UBI. And I'm like, brother, it's nice that you think we live in a society where when the AI replaces us, everyone's going to be on UBI, but that ain't the timeline we're on. We are on the timeline where AI is going to replace jobs, and millions of people are just going to be fucked, frankly. There is not nearly enough shit giving happening from the people in charge. I think we're more likely to end up with like a French Revolution guillotine type situation than we are with universal basic income. How do I want to go about this? Let's see. Damn, that was a really unfortunate spot to get Shadow Stitched. There we got cooked. I'll just clear the building, then. Comment too about EDI, right? Bro is like one of the most serial offenders of like overpaying and underworking people. EDI is the way forward, like, bro, come on. You know what's the funniest thing I think about Musk? Is there was this actually came up in our discussion too, because they brought up Musk during the discussion. They're like, oh, the stuff he's doing is just brilliant. And I'm like, man, I hard disagree. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, listen, there was like a quote I read, and it was like, people told me that Elon Musk knew what he was doing when it came to rockets and going to Mars and shit. And I don't know fucking anything about rockets, so I assumed they were right. I'm like, all right, I guess he knows rockets. And people told me that Elon Musk knows a ton about electric vehicles. I don't know shit about electric vehicles. So I was like, all right, well, yeah, they must be right. I guess he does. And then I witnessed Elon Musk himself pretend to be some type of gamer. I guess trying to appeal to whatever, you know, between Elden Ring and Path and all this shit. And my takeaway from that was like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking idiot. And ever since then, every time people are like, he's brilliant, I'm like, you know, I thought so too until he came into a space that I consider myself a subject matter expert on. And he basically walked in and showed his whole ass to the crowd. And now I'm not so sure about any of those other fucking things. I think the dude has a lot of money. I think he has a lot of resources. I think he hires a lot of people that actually are very intelligent. I think he himself, I think he's a fucking idiot. I think he's a goddamn moron. What does the effects mean for air combat? Like the longer you stay in the air. Show me the way, little guy, where are we going? I remember this roof. I struggled on this roof so much. One of my items dropped 0.0 increased the damage. Sounds like you shouldn't reforge with, I would reforge with a different value. Now, I think, like, the numbers are kind of low, though, in a lot of cases. I think what it is that I think they've already balanced it, like, with new game cycles in mind. And so I think we're seeing values, and it's like, oh, this is the highest this value can be for New Game Plus. And then New Game Plus Plus, it'll jump up like 3% more. I think that's what's going on, like behind the scenes for stuff like that. And that's why some of the values are goofy. How come you never played Arc Raiders? You play Helldivers, and Arc Raiders is way better. I would disagree with that. I did play Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is sweaty as fuck, and you got a bunch of nerds that just want to kill you. It's a game for psychopaths, whereas Helldivers is just pure cooperative fun time with the boys. Clear the building, then take a left and work through the town. I'll scamp us around, pick up any stray loots. Do I want to? What is this? Oh, okay. Crossing that does not get us a grace. There's no point to cross it here. We didn't play much at all. I mean, I played for about 15 hours, and it was more than enough time to determine that it was not for me at all. Also, I would say that my interpretation of it is directly on point. Unless you're playing on, like, PvE-only servers, which wasn't a thing when I was playing, people would ambush you fucking constantly. I have streams of it on the channel. I'm not just making something up. I remember, I think the final stream that final nail in the coffin for me with Arc Raiders was a stream where we were just kind of goofing around. I was running with the free loadouts because I was solo and I wasn't going to risk losing anything. I was high as fuck. And I was just walking around the game, open mic, mind you, singing Careless Whisper. And so I just wandered, like, go to a building, crack open the door. I'm loud as fuck singing. Very obvious, like, you know, this guy is fucking goofy. What is he doing? And as I make my way through the building, I open up a door and I just start walking in. And I get killed. And it was like, hold up a second. Let me get rid of this wheel monk, because I need to demonstrate the level of sweat that I encountered in this moment. I gotta go to a door. Where was there a door? One of these buildings had a door on it, didn't it? You have it. Where's that building I cleared? Where's the entry? Didn't this building have a fucking door? Maybe it did. It's fine. There's gotta be one door open somewhere in this bitch. Everything is so dark. Well, whatever. Just pretend this is the inside of a building. So, you got my ass. I'm just like, I'm never gonna dance again. I'm just sitting there, I'm singing. I'm just kind of walking through. My gun's not even out. As I'm walking through, bro, you had some dude that was like over here, like in the corner, crouched behind a chair, pitch black. You couldn't even see, looking through like a slit that was this big to kill me and then run up and loot my free corpse. I'm like, bro, what? It's like, I mean, if, you know, I get it. People are going to play the game however they want, but like, my dude, like, did it need to be all that? Like, my goofy ass is walking around. I'm making myself, it's very obvious I'm just there. I'm fucking existing in the moment. And you got fucking John Splinter Cell over here acting like I'm one of the terrorists. I'm just like, damn. Like, even you killed me, I'm like, damn, you didn't have to do all that. That's kind of fucking sweaty. Dude was just like, targets down. I'm like, fucking weird, bro. John Wick over here killing like a dad picking up toilet paper at the fucking CVS. That's what it felt like. But so yes, I don't fuck with Arc Raiders because there's some straight up psychopaths on that game. I just can't do that, man. I'm like, I'm just fucking existing, bro. I had the flashlight on and everything. Like, there might as well have been a big fucking arrow pointing at me that says, like, this guy's not a threat. Bro thought he was fucking Predator or something. I made myself a target, sure, but like, bro, where's the target discretion? Like, I'll say this: back in the day, when we used to play, DayZ. We used to encounter, we were the sweat lords in DayZ, and we would find people that were clearly like new players, didn't know what they were doing, and we would do dumb shit with them. We would be like, we'd be like, where you going? They'd be like, I just spawned, and you'd be like, leave your underwear and crawl away. Like, you would do something goofy, you know? Or you'd be like, we're gonna play Simon Says, and if you fuck up, I'm gonna shoot you. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, there was always, like, we would, you know, or if you were busy, you would be like, I'm in the middle of a fight, get the fuck out of here, I see you again, I'm gonna shoot you. And they're like, okay, they scurry off. But like, I never felt like it was necessary to sweat the obvious non-threatening guy. I don't know. It's never felt like that was needed. But in Ark, bro, it is like, Ark, it don't fucking matter. People are like, they're like, I'm here for a fucking kill. Which, like I said, you know, if that's what people want, more power to them. But that shit is not for me. I don't have that much sweat in my body. I just don't. Like that wasn't, it's just not fun to get sweated on like that. That's so untrue. It has some of the nicest players I've ever encountered. Well, I'm glad that you have encountered nice players. I'll tell you exactly how much. Let's see. In the 13.1 hours that I have played, a majority of those hours were encountering assholes. And I don't, you know, younger me was sweaty. I mean, if you look back, bro, there is an Xbox forum post of me trying to appeal a ban from back in like 2010 because I got in trouble for telling somebody to spread them cheeks. So like, I'm no stranger to sweat and trash talking. I've been doing it my whole life. But the 38-year-old cowboy, the chill dad version of cowboy, just does not have that energy anymore. I mean, fuck, look back at the Dark Souls 2 PvP video of how like turbo nerding I was back then. I don't have that energy anymore. Like, once you have kids, that shit just leaves your body. You're like, yeah, that's too much work for me. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I disagree. Arc Raiders is absolutely fucking sweaty. I got sweated enough that I uninstalled the game. And I wasn't even a shoot first kind of person. Like, there were streams where I would run up on people and I'd be like, are you friendly? Okay, cool. Like, I was not, the people that watch the streams knows I was not the sweaty person. I would much rather make friends in that game. My ass was always getting shot first. Like, I had opportunities to just gun people down in cold blood. And every time I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna chill, Chad. He's been a nice guy. Every time I had my expectations betrayed. Here comes your bomb! Boom, 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 boom. How did I not hit you very well? Silk Song was way too much for me, bro. I don't think I'm even coming back for like the DLC. That game, I was like, no, I don't have this shit in me anymore. That was the that was probably the dumbest drama I've seen last night. Holy shit, dude. So I'm no stranger to like randoms on the internet that don't hate me, but the Elden Ring, so the Elden Ring difficulty situation came up again on Twitter, as it always does, and so of course my ass chimed in. I mentioned, you know, the point of get good isn't somebody telling you like, haha, you suck, get good. It's like, you know, get good. You just learn the timing, learn the patience, overcome what's holding you back. I was like, at the end of the day, if you know, if they want to change difficulty, if FromSoft wants to do that, that's your choice, or that's their choice. But you know, we only control what we control. Like, when I find shit too hard, I might mod it. Sometimes I might just walk away. It is what it is. And then somebody pulled a clip of me at the end of Hollow Knight, or at the end of Silk Song, being like, I think this shit's way too hard. And they're like, oh, well, you didn't have the same opinion then. And I'm like, are we really? Like, are we really gonna... You're gonna compare me playing Silk Song when I was done the game, came back after people were like, fuck it, just do it with mods, starting the game only with mods on Act 3, stating I thought it was too hard to begin with. That's somehow the same as me telling people that there are easy ways to get through Elden Ring. Like it's one of the dumbest interactions I think I've had on that platform. Like, it was supposed to be some gotcha, because saying I think Silk Song is too hard is the fucking same thing as saying there are ways to get through Elden Ring. Like, objectively the easiest From Software game, and you want to compare it to Silk Song, bro? The one the internet was literally on fire about the difficulty that the devs themselves nerfed? Couldn't be the hill I want to die. I think the funniest thing about it is, like, even in the context of me being like, I think this is too hard, like, I'm not out here advocating for change or anything. I made it very clear that I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to come back to this. This isn't fun for me. And it's like, you know, at the core of the get good argument, I mean, there's two choices. Either you're gonna spend the time, you're gonna pick up the skill you need, and you're gonna lock in, or realize it's not for you and go do something else, which I did. I said, yeah, this ain't for me. I'll check out the ending with mods, but yeah, this ain't for me. I ain't coming back. But somehow that's like, oh, well, look at you with the self-awareness to realize the game was too hard. I'm like what is the point here? That, like, you got me saying the game was hard and I'm now confirming it's hard? Like, fucking actual mental illness on display. It reminds me of that meme where people are like, oh, you think capitalism is bad, but you participate in society. How curious. Like, just there's the general IQ on the internet is too fucking low these days, bro.
風車の中には一体いけません。風車の匂いに誘われたあやかしが龍馬は仲間を守るべくこの洪水であやかしを引きつけていました。今は
And so you talking about the Kentucky gear? It's covered in the video. Crucible. I don't even think I get tilted though. That's another thing, bro. People love, they'd be like, oh, you crashed out. Like, bro, I think people like using words they don't understand. I don't know. Like, in my mind at least, if like when I hear somebody crashes out, I feel like that person is flipping out. They're fucking throwing furniture. They're doing crazy shit. Not telling somebody to suck a dick and fuck off. Like, that's just how the average person from New Jersey talks. Like, I'll have somebody come and chat. Like, even in the clip they tried pulling, when I said that I thought the song was too hard, so there was some troll in chat, and they were like, nah, it's easy, you're just bad. And I was like, how about you shut that fucking hole on your mouth that you typically reserve to shove cocks into, and realize how fucking stupid you sound. And they were like, oh my god, he's crashing out. I'm like, bro, y'all wouldn't survive a single fucking afternoon in Philadelphia if this qualifies as crash out. Like, people will tell you to eat a dick over the dumbest fucking, like, you cut somebody off, they'd be like, look at this dumb motherfucker, you inbred piece of shit. I bet you fucking grew up with your mom fucking her brother on the kitchen table in front of you. I can't believe you are even intelligent enough to take a breath. I'd put a scratch and sniff sticker on the bottom of the pool and you'd drown yourself, you goddamn idiot. Like, that's an average insult to a northerner. That's just how we fucking talk. That's not a crash out. That's dinner table conversation. Being up in Philly for a couple of years, I had to up my game when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah, dude, like, we don't, like, northerners, we don't fucking hold back. That's how we are. I'm serious. Like, I always like joking with people here that, like, the biggest difference between, like, growing up north and growing up down south is just the outward appearances. Like, because people in the south will tell you you're a fucking idiot too, but they won't say it that way. People in the south, especially ladies in the south, they love bless her heart. Like, they'll be like, oh, did you hear Susie did something? Oh, bless her heart. And that's the polite southerner way of saying, oh, they're a fucking idiot. But like up north, we'll just say you're a fucking idiot. And then people get offended by it. If anything, you should be happy that we're being, like, blunt and upfront with you. It's not that we're not doing it to try and hurt your feelings. It's because you need some tough love from time to time. You from Philly? I grew up about 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia. In the good old suburbs of New Jersey. We full clear Sanjo? Full clear Sanjo. Clear the building, take a left fork through the town, killing some stuff, follow the campus, pick up loot. Should you go near the Spider Town portion of stuff? Sometimes I do it to hurt their feelings, but I'm also an asshole. Oh man. Yeah, no, it's a very northern thing. Like, the bluntness of it. It's just, there is no mincing words. especially with friends. Bro, like one of my buddies was getting you know, because like the core friend group, everyone is now, you know, getting into the 30s, 40s, having kids. And one of my buddies got remarried, and when we were all down for the wedding, and one of them had put on weight. And like the first thing I heard was like, damn, bitch, like you fucking ate yourself from high school. I was like, oh no. I haven't seen him in like 6 years, and this is the first thing my dude's gonna say to him. But that's just how friends from up north be. All right, so Nijou's 120, Mibu's 128. Sanjo's 119. So we're going this way. Gojo Bridge. We're at an hour? Okay, that'll probably clock in. I don't know. Would I be able to do all that and all that in one episode? Maybe. Maybe. Either way, Gion's fucking big. Gion will eat up some time. Let me find my Gion map here. Oh. There is... I took all these fucking screenshots and now I can't. Software is being a laggy shit. Gion. Here we go. So, Gion has a base right at the start. Some stuff that goes up. Shirakawa. Let me find. Are you Shirakawa? You're Shichijo. Kyozumi. Did I not? Oh, it's that one. Hang on. There it is, this picture. Okay, there is a thing in Shirakawa. So I think what we'll do... let me find Kyozumi as well. Kyozumi has... Okay, so we don't need to dip into that. So we will... Yawn. We will grab, push up to that, push all the way up to touch that, and then woo, and swing up that way. Start playing with your own music. Not usually. I mean, if I'm like not recording or something. Let me go put this in the sink though. Right back. Yeah, Supreme Burst got moved. I feel like if I moved here, I think I will be staying. I couldn't stay up north. Not even because of like the culture or anything. I just stopped liking how fucking cold it was. Very cold. I wanted fresh out of, because I went to school down, like, I mean, grew up in Jersey, and you know, went to school in Florida. So then when I came back up north, I was like, my blood had already thinned out. I was like, ah, shit's too cold. I need somewhere warmer. That's how I ended up in Nashville, which is ironic because now I prefer the cold to the warmth. So I'd probably consider moving somewhere that's on the colder side again. I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna end up just staying around Nashville, unless I leave the country. So no, we were talking about possibly moving Denmark or alternatively Japan. Like I think I'm gonna probably retire in Japan. I think retirement in Japan would be fun. I think moving there while the kids are still growing and whatnot. I mean, you could do it, but I feel like that's a lot of work, you know? Is it where the kids are gonna have to learn a new language, integrate into that school system, yada yada yada. Whereas in Denmark, I mean, plenty of people still speak English already. I don't remember how the fuck. Oh, I get that later, probably at a Kiyomozaru. Recommend it for dual sword gear set? For what? For ninja or for samurai? It's recent elections indication. I don't know if retiring there is going to be possible. What's changed? I'm not exactly up to date on current Japanese politics. They elected an anti-immigration PM. I don't know, man. I feel like they would still have like a path to citizenship. Because from a retiree perspective, I mean, even from like, if you look at the shit that's going on in America right now, generally when it comes to anti-immigration policies in a modern landscape, I feel like it's usually more out of classism with a hint of racism as opposed to pure xenophobia. Like, I mean, like most things in life, if you come with money, the rules they don't fucking care. Oh, you're coming to Japan. Oh, you're bringing this much money. Yeah, you can come in. I mean, it's a sad reality, but it's true. It's the poor and the needy that aren't allowed. It's the, you know, when you got money, it's a different fucking story. bomb. Yeah, I agree with you, BZ, but the unfortunate state. I think like, I don't want to really go into politics much, but I will say it's fucking crazy how much shit is coming out with the Epstein files, and like nothing is happening. Like apparently over in Europe, like there's people that are like losing fucking status and, you know, like get sent to jail, all sorts of shit. And here it's just like has anyone, like, has there been anyone that's actually been like arrested yet from the Epstein files? Like, have there been any real consequences so far? Like I said, I don't really follow this shit, but like, shouldn't like all of the, like, I don't care, red, blue, I don't care what side of your aisle you're on. Like, if there was a record of you diddling kids, like, chop bro's dick off and then throw him in jail. Like, full stop. I don't care. If my dad was in the Epstein files, that's fucking nasty. Pops, cut his dick off, put him in jail. Like, every single one of them. Castrate, jail for life. Castrate, jail, just fucking remove them. And there was some shit about, like, the whole system would collapse. I don't care. If the system is run by a bunch of fucking pedophiles, the system's part of the problem. Like, there's nothing. It's fucking wild, bro. I feel like we just keep seeing fucking Congress just talks. We're talking about it. Like, what the fuck? Motherfuckers need to be put in jail. How is this not a bigger problem, bro? Like, if bro was on the island with Mr. fucking famous kid diddler, like, what? I don't get it. It's fucking crazy, dude. Explain us in the EU. Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just as fucking confused as you are. Trust me, most Americans are also in the camp of like, what the fuck's going on? Like, how is this like, why is nobody being arrested for this shit? I think the weirdest thing is you'll get people who are like, oh well, you know, so and so was in it too. Like, I don't, good, arrest them all. Like, I don't think it doesn't have to be a, like, you know, a one or another. Like, I don't care. Arrest all of them. Arrest all. I don't care. What did I say? I said I wanted to. Is this the Gion? Does this push through? Yeah, no, okay, so we're gonna do this. Push north. The fuck? How did I fall down, dude? Oh, you little bitch. Oh my god, holy shit. Y'all see how fast that skeleton killed me? The fact that everyone went to this island, had to know what was going on, and didn't say shit and do nothing. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. No! I think I just leveled up though. That's sureness. Dude, we need like a John Wick fucking Epstein hunter. Just hunts down everyone in the files and just starts like fucking Agent 47 style. Everyone that was in those files just starts having accidents. Like, honestly, that's kind of the best case scenario. Because at this point, I got no confidence in the system to do fucking anything. Yeah, well, they'll always take your money for taxes. Remember that this tax season, all that hard-earned money you made is going to some rich political fuck who probably diddles kids. The American dream. I think Elden Ring already has multiple avenues that make it significantly easier compared to every other mainline Souls game. At the end of the day, when it comes to game difficulty, my thoughts are simple. I think that whether I think something is too hard or too easy ultimately doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I want a developer to make the game they want to make. You know, if I am playing something and I'm like, I don't like this aspect of it, I'm either going to come to the conclusion of, you know what, this game isn't for me, or if applicable, I'll mod the game and tweak the experience to my liking. But I think it is nonsensical and privileged to be like, well, I think the devs have to do this because I'm a special boy and I say so. So generally, I'll just mod something. I think it's too hard. You know what? I thought, like, I mean, we did with Silksong, so this shit is way too fucking hard for me. I'll mod it and I'll finish it, but that's the best I got here. But I think the whole, like, oh, they you know, they have to patch this, they have to make it easier, you know. They should just add an easy mode to appeal for more people. I think that whole thing is bullshit, because at the end of the day, it's like, the devs have chosen, you know, where they want to spend their time and what they want to focus on. And what they envisioned wasn't an easy mode. They curated experience. So I think we always see like, oh, it would be so easy to add another difficulty. Well, not necessarily. Because if from the ground up they created the game a certain way, you know, who are we to be like, hey, you need to redo this and add an additional difficulty for me? They're gonna, you know, that's time away from the development cycle. It's time impacting the vision of what they had in mind. And then even then, if that's something you still want as a player, as an individual, I think that's where mods come into play. Mods exist so you can customize your experience in a number of ways. But I think that's something that we come together and do as a community and as players. And I think it's irresponsible to push that task onto developers and have the expectation of like, they need to make the game easier for me. That's not something they wanted to do from the start. Because that's time they're taking away from the vision they already had to just satisfy an individual group. You know, especially with Elden Ring, I think a huge part of Elden Ring and the Souls experience in general is that difficulty, and it is that feeling of finding a way past the challenge. Because there's so many fucking tools in Souls games, and not all of them are going to be instantly known to you up front. That's part of the experience. But like when you find something that's truly strong in those games, you're like, fuck, this is crazy good. I feel like a god now. And that's a feeling that a lot of games, you're never going to get that feeling. And it's a very unique experience. And that's why even in the walkthroughs, I tell people, you know, I was like, you can follow this at the start if you want. I'd recommend playing blind your first time, because you never get back that initial experience. That, like, there are no other games that do that as well as Souls. That first time experience of going through the game and like discovering that strat that surpasses the boss that you were stuck on, or finding that one weapon that the boss just can't contend with and it counters the fuck out of him. That's such a just super unique and cool feeling. And it's one that is relatively limited to just Souls games. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing that gives that feeling. That's why I hate that, like, it needs to have easy mode. Like, so you're telling me that your desire for easy mode is more important than the artistic vision of the dev and what they wanted to do and what they wanted to share. I think that's stupid. And if you still want to experience it, despite the fact that it has a difficulty you struggle with, once again, that's where mods come in. So at that point, you're saying, you know what, this is cool. You can't keep up with what they've put out here, but I want to at least try and experience it. So mod it. I think an example I made is like, my kid loves the idea of Monster Hunter stories. You know, going around and getting the monster eggs and hatching them and watching the monsters fight. He thinks it's so fucking cool. For a 5-year-old watching giant monsters fight, especially when they do like the kinship skills, it's the coolest fucking thing. He loves it. And so when we were playing stories too, I just booted up a mod engine thing and made it so he couldn't lose hearts and he couldn't die in combat, so that he could take things extra slow and learn what was going on. Does that mean I should be like, oh, you know, this game would be better if the devs added a little buddy mode so my son could actually experience it? No, because it's not the fucking, it's like, that's not something that I should expect or put on the devs to begin with. I wanted to have a unique experience for my kid, and so I took steps to ensure he had that experience. It was something that was within my realm of control. And I think that's the problem with the difficulty discussion a lot of the time, is there are things that are within our control and there's things that are out of our control. And the only thing you can do is what you can. There's no point trying to change something that you can't. So it just seems silly to me to bitch and moan. They should do this because I want this. It's like, no, they had their vision. They made the game they wanted to make. If you're not satisfied that, you could be on PC and you could mod it, or you realize tough shit. Not every game is made for everyone. We're not entitled to have each piece of media that comes out be tailored exactly to us. It's blunt, but like that's the truth. It is what it is. People are allowed to tell the stories they want to tell. And to think otherwise is really just ignorance and entitlement. There's a Chijiko. Let's go this way. Oh, and there's a master down here. Okay. Kill the bee. Hang on, these notes got out of control. Head on in. Kill the bee would be behind the building. Proceed ahead for a shrine. Kill the enemy base just north. Afterwards, continue. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a point in my life where I get too old and I just can't keep up with some of the games I used to play. At that point, I'm either going to... They're going to be like, damn, these are beyond me. Or I'll, same as I do now, maybe I'll mod it and be like, fuck yeah, mods are cool. I think it's stupid to just cry about it online and be like, make it more accessible for me. Make it for me. I think it sounds very entitled. And I also think a lot of people, they make that argument under the guise of, I mean, it's you know, because it's an argument about accessibility versus artistic vision. And this guy's whooping my ass. Holy shit, you're dangerous. Obviously, I think accessibility is important in games. And it's nice to have as big of a player base as possible and attract as many people as possible. But I think if that comes at the risk of sacrificing your artistic vision, then I don't think it's worth it. You know, because to play devil's advocate, you know, there were games back in the day. You know, you think... you know, back in the day, I remember the Disney games, the Lion King, the Aladdin, they were so fucking hard that most people were never finishing those games. They were insane. And when you died in those games, you went back to the start. There was no like, oh, go to your checkpoint. You went back to the beginning of the fucking game. And, you know, back then, I mean, obviously the social climate and social media and whatnot, it was very different in the 90s. But, you know, it became known as just like, oh, yeah, that game's fucking crazy hard. Unless you are, like, God Gamer, you just don't play it. That's a God Gamer game. It's meant for God Gamers. That's what it was. It was never like, well, they need to fix this so I can play it. It's just not everything needs to be for every person. Because especially with the thing about that argument that's so fucking dumb about like, well, everything needs to be made accessible for as many people as possible. Like, you never see people that enjoy harder games applying that logic to more cozy games. Like, bro, imagine if collectively Souls fans looked at, like, I don't know, what's the game with the raccoon and the houses and you have your little island and what is it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Is it Stardew? Stardew Valley? The one that like everyone was playing during COVID where they like, I remember there's bells. Animal Crossing? Yeah. Bro, imagine if Souls fans like got onto Animal Crossing and they were like, this is bullshit. What the fuck? I just keep my bells. This isn't nearly entertaining enough. This game is not accessible to me. It's too simple. It's too fucking simple. Every time that I miss a fish, I better lose my fucking bells. This game is made for a bunch of pussies. Oh, what's wrong? It can't be made for us hard people? What about us hard people? We people that like hard games, this is too casual an experience. It has to be harder for me. I need to lose materials, all my materials when I die, and if I'm late on rent, the developer better punch me in the fucking mouth. You never hear that argument. Because Souls gamers look at that game and they go, yeah, this game's just not for me. Like, that's it. Not every game needs to be for everybody. And I think a lot of people need to fucking understand that. Each game has a vision. Each game has something it's trying to achieve. Cozy games are there for people that want cozy shit. Hard games are there for people that want hard stuff. So the argument that the hard games need to be made more accessible for the people that want cozy, I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. Because we you know, people that enjoy masocore and hard games enjoy them because they're hard. If we wanted cozy games, we wouldn't play those. Grapple up mountains in this? No. Not unless there's like a spirit vein. You reset the level. I don't think you can reset the level, but I mean, you'll be able to level up everything. By where I'm at in endgame, every guardian spirit I have is at max level. So at some point you'll have plenty to the point where it's a complete non-concern. Enjoy this, you big bitch! Yeah, I think it's very important that games have specific niches that they fit to. So I mean, at the end of the day, if you just have like, if you create the like, you know, most of the games that are created to appeal to as many people as possible, they just end up being like generic slop that nobody likes. Imagine it's like, oh, this game is, you know, there's fantasy land, and then there's like some cyberpunk stuff you could do, and there's multiple difficulties, and then some parts are Souls, and then other parts there's a home simulator, and then other parts there's just some friend slop. Like, everyone would look at it and be like, well, I like the friend slop portion, but the rest of this kind of sucks, or I like the Souls portion, but the rest of this kind of sucks. Yeah, the game would have no identity. It would just be everything slop. And then the argument inevitably is that, you know, there's some Souls games, like Lies of P and Kazan and whatnot, that have added difficulty. And to that, I say that was the choice of the devs. The devs looked at their game and said, you know what, we are going to add a difficulty. And you know what? In the future, if Miyazaki puts out something and he decides, I want to add difficulty, if that's what he does, and that is part of his vision from the start, then I'm fine with that. But I think it is stupid to just say, oh, they just need to add it in. They can, the game's done. Shit, like, you can't just, it's not, they just patch it in. Like, no, that's, like, the game is it's done. It's something like, are we just gonna throw fucking balance aside and say that balance doesn't matter and expect them to just make everything hit for like half damage? Well, then people are gonna complain that the easy mode is poorly balanced, or oh, it's they added easy mode but it's half-assed. Like, yeah, well, it was never part of the original vision. Of course it's half-assed. It was something they patched in because people kept bitching about it, which I think that's like the worst way to do stuff. The last thing you want is developers making changes to their game just to satisfy public appeal, and then it ends up feeling half-baked. Stuff what they did with story, normal, and hard. See, I'm fine with that. If it was their choice to do that shit from the start, cool. That's cool. I think for me, at the end of the day, it just comes down to what was the vision of the dev? What did they want to do? Did they plan for difficulties here or not? Because if they didn't, want it just slapped on for the sake of appealing to more people. Like, now personally, when it comes to difficulties, my personal enjoyment, what I think would be the coolest is if Souls-like games or something like Dark Souls were to get difficulties moving forward with newer ones, I would love to see difficulty that has like dynamic changes in the playthrough. Like, you know, when you're playing the game, on normal, there's, you know, certain moves that, or when you're playing it on easy, there's certain moves the boss just won't do. You know, there are certain moves or certain counters or certain sequences that, like, on the baseline it has all that, and then the easier one is just simplified, and it's like, oh, this is a really fucking hard move to deal with. It has a high skill ceiling, you know, so you're only going to encounter that if you're playing on the original difficulty. I think that's a cool way to adjust it, because you're creating an easier experience for those that want the easy experience, and it's going to be simplified. And then it's like, oh, if you want to see what we really imagined, here's some crazy shit that goes on. This was our original vision, but on easy, this shit is overkill, so we don't have it. I think that'd be cool as fuck. Yeah, right? Like an easy Elden Ring, like waterfowl dance, that's not a thing. It's just not a thing. Because I feel like the worst type of difficulty is where it's like, oh, the boss has every move, but she tickles you instead of hurting you. I think that's a boring way to approach difficulties. Or like there was you know, what was it, like the Skyrim Wildcat mod? I liked how, like, with that one, like, you know, you could change the combat so that, like, if you when you took a hit to like the arm, your character it would then be harder to swing a sword or harder to block. Like, you would see effects, like a new gameplay mechanic that was impactful. I was like, fuck, I gotta make sure I keep my guard up. If I get hit, I'm not gonna be able to fight back right. Stuff like that, I think, is a really cool way. and then, oh well, yeah, in easy mode we don't do that. You just fight the boss. You don't got to worry about limb damage and whatnot. That's for the baseline. I think that's a really cool way to approach difficulty. Continue, not north, continue south, continue north, not south. Afterwards, continue up north for some stray loots, eventually spirit loot. For 2 loots on the tire, fight the master. Continue for Itsumare, then some stray enemies. Keep going until you reach the... Shaka Shrine of Shirakawa, and grab the Kodama on the little island. Then warp. Then warp down to Otowa Stairs. You want, let me, I need to ask y'all something though. Because there was one dude I was arguing back and forth with last night. And I should have just fucking blocked him from the start, but I was high. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking argue. So you know, Nioh has, we got difficulties in the sense of we can progress to new game cycles. Way of the way of the samurai, way of the strong, way of the demon. It's new game plus cycles. And this dude was trying to argue that it was difficulty. And I'm like, no, like, yes, the game gets harder, but it's progression. It's not difficulty. There is no easy mode. You have a baseline and it becomes harder. And they were like, well, that's the difficulty though. I'm like, well, no, it's progressive. You don't play the game on Way of the Strong and then go back to Way of the Samurai. There's not a reason for that. If you're on Way of the Strong, it's new gear, new enemies, new sets, new everything. You're progressing. If you're gonna go up to Demon, you're progressing. It's a constant climb up. And they were trying to argue with me that they were difficulties. And I'm not sure if I'm just stubborn or if this man was just a fucking moron. Chat, I'm curious on your thoughts on the matter. Do you view the various difficulties of Nioh as a traditional difficulty scale? Or is it new game plus cycles and this guy was just a fucking idiot? Especially when people are like, I mean, I feel like it's one of those, like, you're right technically, but you're still a dickhead. Like, in the strictest sense of the word, yes, it is harder or easier depending on which you're on. But in the context of the argument where people say they want difficulties, they're not talking about new game +1, and new game +2. They're talking about easy, normal, and hard. Yes, that's how I feel. It's a whole new cycle. There's no just, you know, like, I don't know anybody that, like, you might try Way of the Strong and be like, oh, I don't like this. I think I'm going to stay as a Way of the Samurai player and do all your DLCs on Way of the Samurai. But, like, I don't know anybody that's like, I'm going to go into Way of the Strong. I'm going to play all the way through that, get my Divine set, and then I'm going to go down to Way of the Samurai and I'm going to butt fuck everything. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that does that, but, like, you know, I don't think anybody is progressing up to Way of the Nioh just so they can go back to Way of the Samurai and explode everything. Like, that's not a majority of the player base. Yeah, right? It will. Hey, thank you, bro. I'm sitting there. I'm like, is this dude like I said, I was high as fuck, and I'm like, is this bro is he trying to fucking gaslight me into this, or is this dude legitimately fucking stupid? I think he's legitimately fucking stupid, but... Oh no! That's bullshit! That's bullshit! Whoa, that's kind of cool. It was one of the people that got mad about Get Good, and then I shared the Get Good video. People always get mad about shit on the internet these days, though. I think the problem I made is usually my ass is more blunt. Like, my first instinct is typically, oh, this person's a fucking idiot, and I just block them and don't even reply. But because I was baked as fuck, I kept getting into arguments with people. That's where the problem was. I should have just led with, you're a fucking idiot, and blocked them and went on my way. What are your thoughts on the changes from 2 to 3? I like them a lot. I'm a big 3 enjoyer. How do I get up to you? Oh, I gotta keep going. I gotta go around. Oh, I just gotta go right here. You here? Yeah, right here. Ever played Nioh 3? Touching 1 or 2. Beautiful. Beware the ambushes. Think, what are we at on time? We can get through Gion and maybe Kiyomizu. Found all the collectibles in the region in Bakumatsu, and it's still 3 out of 4. There's a story quest that'll pop up later that you need to do, and then it'll finish off. Because that happens in the second act as well. When you're doing this, you'll have 9 out of 9, but it's 3 out of 4 until you finish the Crucible and clear that. Was you having a question about this game? Is it just me, or is that one woman the same woman at all points of time? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's like the same soul. Himiko, and she's just reincarnated as a new lady throughout time. No! He just body pushed me off. Holy shit. It's so toxic. Favorite weapon? Fists or dual blades? If I can make. I'm gonna put a shuriken in that dude's asshole. You, man who stole my shit. Face your divine punishment of bombs. What you get? When you defeat the Crucible Wraith, it just becomes enhanced. It's not like something you have to do, it just occurs. Die. Yeah, some are New Game Plus, I think. Blowing stuff up with that bomb is so fucking fun. Skip it. Oh yeah. Oh, it's just the rest of Gion. The only thing we missed was that, which we got from that region. The sneaky Kodama. You can temper and imbue elements, but it's not really worth it. Generally, unless, like, if you get a starred element on a weapon, it's going to be high enough to be good. But tempering on, I find the effect is usually too much on the low side to really have a lot of benefit. Like, it's just not strong enough to justify the slot. Especially because we have moves like this. Stuff like that is just vastly better. And it levels up with familiarity. It's just still doesn't hit a level that's, like, incredible. Sometimes I donate. It just depends, honestly. Tempest, grab the few loot. Yeah, you can make a lot. The only problem with the guild donation system is it's like RNG. You know, because sometimes it's going to be like, we need you to donate cannons. And you're like, cool, I got a fuckload of cannons. Yeah, I'll donate all that. And then other times it's like, we need you to donate the Swallowtail set. And you're like, wait, what? I don't have a Swallowtail set. What do you mean you only want Swallowtail set? And generally you're only getting like, you're only getting good donos for the shit that they want. So that's the problem. Look, I can also become a Beyblade. Yeah, as in you have it in your inventory. Because if it's something specific, sometimes you just, it's like, oh, I don't have, like, I'll go check today. Sometimes it is good. Just, it all depends. What up, bitch? I don't think ninjutsu cultivation works with that. Because they are definitely dying, and I'm definitely not getting credit for them dying. No, this is new game. Kill the Kamatachi. Do you actually know where the charity money is going to? I mean, the clan. It's going to the clan. Once you see in Jujutsu Kaisen, it's going to the head of the clan. We're gonna distribute it. Escape. He's talking about donations in the game. He's not talking about real life. I think that is... What are we missing? A spirit vein and 2 valuables. Let me look at the map. I think 40 out of 43 is done. I think there's a quest valuable, and then there's one on the roof. So we are done with this. Let me check the other ones. 40, 13, 41, 16, 27. Haven't done Shirakawa. 123. Oh. Mm. Talking about this over here. Talk to this guy.
土産話はあるのだろうな。
And then you go to clan battles. It says donate switchclaves. Reward rare materials. So you're donating switchclaves. But yeah, I mean, it's a perfect example. Today, all he wants is switchclaves. I ain't getting rare materials for that. I'll get glory. I can do that. Got an overgrown dermis. After Crucible, teleport back. Might be able to do this earlier. Oh, shit. Damn it. Let me see if this is just like a quick pop-in. Yeah, I still get the error every time I close the game. That shit's been around since I got the review code, so like they're aware of it. I don't know how it gets fixed, but like they are aware of that. Would you fuck off? Yeah, you can switch between the new games. Might be worth doing this earlier just to get it checked off. Yeah, we'll do that earlier. So Ottawa stairs. How big is Kiyomizu? Let me look at the screenshot for Kiyomizu. See. Alright, so Kiyomizu has some Jizo statues and a Cruci Wraith, a chest, a hot spring. Boom, and I do some stuff. Then thing. Yeah, this is a main mission. Let me see. I might see. How many notes do I got? Let's see. We got Chijo, Sanjo, and Gion. So the notes are gonna go boop, and then boop, boop, and then here, and then fight the dude, and then do all this and boop, and then afterwards we jump down to Gion. We boop, we boop. We boop, 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 boop. I'm back here. Boop, 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 boop. Is that only gonna be 2 episodes, or is it 3? Tell you what, let me go drop, or let me go check on the kids real fast. Because if we're gonna do Kiyomizu now, that's at least gonna be another hour. It might make sense just to do side portion of Kiyomizu. You know what? Let me do the side portion of Kiyomizu now. I'll do the side portion of it. And then, if the kids are good... Well, because that part's pretty short. Whereas the main mission is not. So let me punch through. I'll punch through the short part for sure. And then I might do the other. You get a guaranteed Yasakani off of Yoshinobu. That is not the way. Could I have just walked over here at the start? I guess you could have. I guess we could start from... We could start from Gojo Bridge instead. Yeah, that might make more sense. Start from Gojo Bridge. Yeah. level can you get a build? Probably like level 50. It's not gonna be a crazy good build, but you can do one. You gotta give Axe another shot. I promise. Axe ain't that slow. There's a couple skills you gotta get, and then Axe really picks up in the power department. It's quite fun. Like, what's that? Where's the fucking thing at? Like this, that immediately makes that so much better. Because after every move, you're just boom, and you bash them in the face. So it's just like a constant key pulse-based aggression. Bombs. Sucks that ninjutsu cultivation doesn't work with that. There's a couple. Axe needs a couple of key skills. There's a Crucible skill that just gives you the same spin to win that the skeletons have. That's another one. That shit feels really good. Like that one a lot. Getting the Swift upgrade for Lumber Chop is huge, because it's like if something hits you while you're charging, you hit him in the face. That's a big one. Fire Explosion one is pretty good. The Water Explosion one is pretty good. Probably the biggest thing, honestly, is just how simple Axe is. Like, you don't need to worry about a ton of key pulsing. You just boop. That's it. You just boop and you get the job done. Tornado's edge. I'm not fucking paying attention. Severing spin. Tornado's edge. I would say there's quite a few that are needed for ninja stuff, like this one. Not that one. This one I'm pretty sure. I think that one's a Crucible art. That's one of my favorites. A lot of the aerial shit you get for ninja weapons comes from Crucible arts. I would consider most of those to be like big important ones, because they make the weapon feel so much more fluid. I mean, honestly, what I would do and what I did myself, because you could respec freely. My first playthrough, I straight up, every time I got a new Crucible weapon, I would save them until I had a bunch, and then I would level them all at the same time. Because like, if I'm using this weapon is also getting familiarity, and if I'm using this one's getting familiarity. So I would load up on the Crucible weapons, and then I would put on 2 ninja and 2 samurai. And it was like, you know, like taking this as examples, like, oh, I really like fist. Cool. Oh, I'm going to unlock the fist. I don't like Kusarigama, so I'll get that done at the same time. And then after, I like single sword, so I'll play with the single sword instead of the Odachi, and I'll level the Odachi. And I would do that to just bang out multiple Crucible weapons until I'd got them all done. And then if there was like, if it came down to like the only thing left is weapons you don't like, that's usually where I would just use some whetstones. I'd put on 4 weapons, use 7 whetstones, max the familiarity, and move on to the next 4. And that also works very well. Damn. Yeah, oh, Limitless one. That one's not, it's not a Crucible skill, but that's huge. There's a perk for Limitless that makes it so you have super poise while you're charging it. Which is like, honestly, it's always been the only real downside of that weapon. Is like trying to make sure, okay, before I press this, something needs to be stunned so I can really fuck it up, and then you get interrupted and you're like, god damn it, it hit me. So having a hyper armor, you can't be broken. That shit's fucking cool. Rude little dude. Yeah, Lumberchop Swift's another one. Lumberchop Swift is even better though, I think, because instead of that one, it's not even like, hey, you'll poise through it, don't worry. It's like, oh, don't worry, if they hit you, you can let it go immediately. And did we mention it's going to be even fucking stronger than it would be normally? Like, Lumberchop Swift is nuts. Every time I fucking cue that up, I'm like, please hit me. Please hit me. Hit me. Do it, you dumb bitch. Hit me right now so I can fucking end your whole career. Oh, that's all. Bad baby. Please die. For me personally, probably not. Like, this is the kind of Nioh dream this is the kind of Nioh game I have dreamed of, so. All right, I think that's everything. Look here, I got you, I got you, I got you. Got you and you and you. Got shrine, and I do that. Okay. Let's see. Do all that, and then we go over to seeking our yokai. Yeah, it might be time to break and get some lunch. I think we'll wrap up after this side quest. That'll be enough for two to three episodes worth of recording that I can do. It's a good Sunday afternoon. Rage putting you in slow motion? You're not using rage. You're using battle stats or whatever, adamantine. They're different moves. Go here. Me. So there's rage, increase attack and the amount of ki consumed when attacking. There's battle focus, increase ki consumed when dodging to decrease ki consumed when attacking. What you're using is this guy. Increase defense and immunity to stagger, but gives you sloth speed. So you take that off, you'll be good. All right, this is all done, and we're ready to push through the Kiyomizu mission. So we'll go Ottawa stairs. All right. I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to get these guys recorded. Tomorrow, probably more of this tomorrow. I think the goal, I really want to get this done. Yeah, because I got a trip next week and then surgery on that Friday, so. Oh shit. Yo, hold up. Tomorrow's President's Day. Fuck yeah! President's Day is a federal holiday. I don't have to work tomorrow. Fuck yes! Extra day off, gang! Alright, well shit. Maybe I'll stream later. I don't know. I don't want to make that promise because I think we're going to karaoke. Then by the time I get home from karaoke, it's usually like anime and Magic the Gathering time. I have like a very strict bedtime routine. At like 11 o'clock, it's a terrible bedtime routine, but it is one. By like 11 o'clock, I'm in bed, got my laptop open. I'm gonna knock out some Magic Arena dailies. And then I'm gonna build commander decks. And the whole time anime is just playing in the background. And that's like my end of the night cooldown, so by the time karaoke's done, I'm probably not gonna want to fire up a stream. But I will stream tomorrow. It'll probably be an early stream since I have the day off. I'll probably fire up around 10 or 11, assuming I don't stay up till 3 a.m. again. So, yeah. Tomorrow, I think we'll knock out Kiyomizu tomorrow. Actually, hold up. Hold up. Let's go, we can do some of this quest. Let's do this real fast. Let's do this real fast. I didn't even notice this quest is in an area I've already cleared, so we'll get it done. Yeah, this is gonna take like a minute. Just this little bit. Just this little bit. I think this quest proceeds into the castle. What's up, kitty? 望みは叶わなかったか。不憫よの。静か。いや、お量ならば
珍しいあやかしを知っておるかもしれん。今の今日についてはあやつの方が詳しいはずじゃ。
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's go talk to Himiko. She tells us about Kusanagi.
あら、草な。
And we go back and talk to him again. I mean, I'm gonna take an edible tonight, but that's for karaoke, singing time.
あの男、ここに戻ると言っておったが、ただならぬあやかしの気配。気をつけよ、竹千代。
What up, bitch? It's been a while since I've seen you. Here comes my bomb. What? Bro, mid dodge. Okay. You want to play like that? Bomb time. Great set for Axe build a new game plus or stick with Kentaro. I mean, you would definitely add a Grayson because you would need one piece less, so it would be assuming, let's just assume you didn't use the axe. That's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could do full Kentaro and a 6-piece Grace set. Probably Inari, Benz, there's the martial arts one, that one would work. Headed for Lords of the Fallen too. I want to see like raw gameplay or a demo or something. It's my new rule when it comes to games. I need to. That's why I haven't talked about Crimson Desert. When I have had a chance to play Crimson Desert, I will talk about Crimson Desert. Same thing with Lords. No excitement until hands-on. This time we can go back to Ottawa Stairs though. Back to dude. Alright. Now we're good to wrap up. Let me just confirm. There's nothing else. We are good. So yes, we'll close out. I'm gonna get this shit recorded. And then tomorrow we will pick up probably, I think we'll finish Kiyomizu. We'll knock out the North region. It would be long, but since it's a day off, I might be able to do Kiyomizu North, which I think was like Shinikawa, and then the stuff out west. And then that way the only thing remaining would be Imperial Kyoto, Final Crucible, and the like pseudo Act 5. And then we'd be done. That would be walkthrough prep would be fucking done. You know, we'll definitely finish this week. But anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm gonna go check in on the kids, get some lunch, and I'll see you later.